What's up, Helldivers? Sly Spy Gaming here, and we just got our first major update for Helldivers 2 dropped on the community. So much so that I decided to make a video breakdown for everything that was just released. In this video, we'll be discussing the new patch that dropped on March 6th, which includes major changes and balances to many of the meta builds, weapons, and stratagems. We'll also be diving into some of the fixes that were implemented in this newest update as well. Before we get started, I just wanted to invite you all to come and join me Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time, where I live stream tons of games like Helldivers and more. Heck, if you're looking to play, feel free to also join me if the lobby is open. Without further ado, let's jump into this new major Helldivers 2 update. So we'll start off the update with what the devs consider to be one of their major updates in this patch, and that is the introduction of planetary hazards. So many planets now will have additional environmental challenges that will appear at random while you are deployed. From fire tornadoes to meteor showers and more, these hazards will keep you on your toes and add a new layer of excitement to your missions. Moving on, we get into the balancing section, and this is a very small section, and really it's only balancing around the eradicate missions. In the patch notes, they say that the eradicate missions have been adjusted. Now they require more kills and enemies spawn more often. In addition, the time to complete the mission was previously shorter than intended and should now usually take twice as long to complete, providing a more challenging experience for seasoned Helldivers. We'll now get into the major changes, aka the buffs and the nerfs that were made to the weapons. And to go along with this, the developers did state that they want to try to remove actual meta builds and create an experience with Helldivers 2 that is more tailored to the customization of how you as the player actually want to play. This could be due to a story in the past where there was a large number of higher level players that were actually kicking other players from their lobby due to them not bringing in meta builds. With some of these changes, it should now provide a more wide range of builds to be playable in the actual game. Let's get started and let's talk about the changes to the primary, secondary, and support weapons that were implemented in this update. Starting with the Breaker, whose magazine capacity has been decreased from 16 to 13. In addition, they have also increased the recoil from 30 to 55. Another nerf to one of the favorite metas is to the Railgun. That's right, so they have actually decreased the armor penetration in safe mode, and they have decreased the damage against durable enemy parts. Those are really the only two major weapon nerfs that we see in this update currently. We'll now move into the buffs that were implemented in this update for the weapon specifically, starting with the flamethrower. So the flamethrower has now increased its damage per second by 50%. Additionally, the laser cannon has had its damage increased against durable enemy parts. It also has increased armor penetration and improved ergonomics. Next, we go to the Punisher, and it has actually increased its total ammo capacity from 40 to 60. It has increased stagger force and increased damage from 40 per bullet to 45 per bullet. Lastly, for the weapon changes, we go to the Breaker Spray and Pray, which has increased its armor penetration, increased fire rate from 300 to 330. It has increased the number of pellets from 12 to 16 per shot, but it has decreased the magazine size from 30 to 26. That pretty much covers the major weapon changes, and this will definitely be a shakeup to what they consider the meta build. The new changes to the flamethrower and laser cannon are actually viable in terms of taking down bigger enemies now. Only time will tell whether these will get nerfs in the future or whether the Breaker and Railgun will get buffs in the future as well. Moving on to a couple of the major stratagem changes that have been implemented in the update. There's only really a couple, and again, this kind of shakes up that meta build as well, starting with the Energy Shield Backpack. So now the Energy Shield Backpack will have an increased delay before being able to recharge. Additionally, they have made changes to the 380mm and the 120mm orbital barrages. They've increased the duration of the bombardment and also decreased the spread. Next, we move into the plethora of fixes that have been implemented in this update, and there are definitely quite a few. With this being their first real major update, we can continue to see the devs providing some support like this, fixes, buffs, and nerfs as the life of the game progresses. Starting up with the first fix, we see that they have actually fixed an issue where the armor rating values were not actually reducing damage as intended. Additionally, they've fixed certain bug holes that were unnecessarily hard to destroy. And trust me, that happened quite a lot to me. Very annoying. Next, on the graphics side, they fixed an anti-aliasing toggle not working on the PS5. They have balanced some lighting across all the planets to solve cases where the game was too dark. Again, an issue that I think a lot of us faced, and as a streamer myself, was always annoying to find those dark planets or nighttime planets. They've improved flashlight efficacy. Additionally, they have increased visibility during sand rain weather on Errata Prime. All we really need now is for them to get rid of the spore clouds entirely, and I will be a happy camper. Next, they have improved cases where some materials could look blurry if the lighting graphics setting was set to low. They've fixed some timing issues that could occur in the Extract E-710 primary objective. They have changed button interaction behavior for buttons in bunker POIs. To go into more detail with that, Helldivers will now let go of the button after holding it for a few seconds. They've fixed some cases of large assets floating if the ground beneath them was blown up. Additionally, instead of really a fix, they've made kind of a change to this, and this is kind of a funny one. This next one is that Helldivers standing next to ICBMs during their launch will get properly toasty with a chance of not so spontaneous combustion, meaning that now when you set off those ICBMs, you better book it. They have fixed an issue with unthrowable snowballs after ragdolling. They also fixed a bug where you were able to use grenades after drowning. They fixed an issue where the camera would lock onto the player's own corpse and block the spectator mode. I don't know, sometimes I like seeing my own mutilated body, but this is probably for the better. Additionally, Helldivers now take damage from fire, gas, etc. generated by other players. I'm sure that this will definitely be a super fun experience now that they have buffed the flamethrower. And then lastly, armor no longer stretches when being dismembered. Definitely a bug, and a funny one at that. Additionally, they do go into some detail of the known issues that they're currently working on, which is actually a pretty large list, but not something that I will necessarily be covering in this video. If you did want to check that out, make sure that you check the link below where I have actually put the patch notes for you all to go and take a look at if you would like to do that yourselves. That pretty much sums up everything in their newest March 6th update. If you enjoyed the video and found value in anything that I talked about today, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button because I will be breaking down a lot more Helldivers 2 in the future. And don't forget to join me Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time, where I live stream some of your favorite games. Until next time, everybody, this is Sly Spy Gaming, signing out.